Jordan?
Ian?
Who has an imaginary friend called the Dark One, who seems scary at first, but really just wants to share a Tex-Mex platter for two with you, and will only harvest your soul if you mention that?
John Bon Jovi?
No. Two guys. Beautiful. Every time.
Yeah, very almost Spanishy Mexican there.
It's just the theme today, mate.
Are you having tequila?
I wish I could have some tequila, but it's too early. Last week, it wasn't too early for a baguette, but today it's a little bit early for tequila.
Oh, that's a shame.
And I'm working tonight, so probably best, shouldn't I?
Maybe not.
Hello, and welcome to episode 78 of Two Guys What's Up, the weekly comedy podcast where I'd love to share a Tex-Mex platter for two with the Dark One, but I don't know what that is that I'm not supposed to mention, and the only guy that does won't tell me, and that's this guy, Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
I'm very good at keeping secrets.
You are, you bastard.
No, I'm feeling good, especially after last night we actually had an interview, didn't we, with James Copper. He returned the favour.
Yeah, he did indeed. I feel famous. I have never been interviewed. Well, I tell a lie. I've been interviewed before.
Only by the police.
We're not going to bring that up, John. Shut up. We're trying to remain good in our fans' eyes here. I don't want people thinking, oh, what did he do?
Ah, okay.
Although I think the question on the bonus episode was time to reveal where I hid the bodies. So I guess I'm dropping myself in it. But no, yeah, we did. We had an interview last night. I felt famous, like I said, because I've been interviewed before with my band, but I was always too shy to talk back then.
Right.
So I just kind of sat in the back, true drummer style, just didn't speak unless spoken to. And even when I did, it was one-word answers, guttural sounds.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not much had really changed, to be honest.
Yeah, go watch the interview. It's just me grunting to myself in the corner, crying.
I mean, to be honest, though, it was really fun.
It was.
And at least we together have never been interviewed, and it was fun.
It was.
And that was on the 14 News podcast as well.
Yeah, we'll link it in this description of this episode, so if you want to go and check it out, it will be being released on his podcast feed, as well as on YouTube, which is available right now.
Perfect.
So go and check it out.
Absolutely. And also, can I just say that, so the interview began about 8 o'clock last night,
Yep.
and we were on for well over an hour and a half, and then by 10 p.m. it was uploaded. I mean, that's efficiency.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I was going to put it in the promo that I did for it, that I put out on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, saying, please don't be coming at us saying, get your act together, because that is efficiency, recorded. And before I was even home, it was uploaded.
That's the one.
So I didn't really want people to be like, what are you guys playing at? Recording a week in advance. Get your act together.
It's true. Well, that's the difference between, someone who's done that for a long time and us.
Yep, someone who knows the craft.
That's the one.
Someone who's good at what they do.
That's exactly the one. And can I just apologise as well for my voice, because you can probably hear that I do not sound how I maybe normally do, and we even ended up having to reschedule a recording because I just lost my voice last week.
Yeah.
And it's still not fully back.
It was behind the old sofa, wasn't it, that you sent away with the delivery people, so you had to go and track them down, get it, dig it out, stick it back.
Eventually found it. It just it didn't work quite as well as it used to.
Yeah, it had a bit of fluff attached to it, had a little bit of sticky stuff, icky sofa goo. But hopefully you'll clear that out soon and you'll be back to normal. But I mean, I can't still notice a difference at all. You sent me a voice message saying, oh, Ian, I'm really ill, I've lost my voice. And I was like, no, you haven't, Jordan. You're speaking to me fine right now. I found it really funny that you were telling me that you'd lost your voice and you couldn't talk and we can't record, and you did that through the medium of sending me voice notes, which you have never done in your entire life.
And I really haven't.
And then all of a sudden I lost my voice. Ian, by the way, I just thought I'd let you know through voice message that I can't talk anymore.
I'll play a little bit for you now so you at home can hear the sheer turmoil in my voice.
I'm losing my voice even more. And I can barely get through my lessons. It's weird. I think I'm going to have to just go home and just rest my voice, because I don't know if you can hear it properly, but I just cannot speak. Like, if I try and go high, I'll lose my voice. And I feel like I just need to go home and not speak and just rest it. It's so annoying.
I was hoping it would come across that I'd really kind of lost it, and it felt awful to speak, and I was just trying to portray that to you just so you didn't think I was just a flaky little shit.
Dude, I've known you for a fair amount of years now. We've also, it's not as if we're on episode 2 and you just didn't like doing the first one. I would have completely believed you.
No, that's it. I just thought 78 episodes in, maybe I should say.
Yeah, maybe we're getting a bit too casual now. I really should let him know.
But never mind. There is something I just wanted to bring up very quickly, and that is that you, Ian,
oh God,
have just began a little mini-series on our TikTok about drinking alcoholic beverages mixed with apple juice.
Yeah.
Now, what was it you called it?
Ian from that podcast, Two Guys What's Up, tries different drinks mixed with apple juice.
Perfect. I feel like it needs a sort of Harry Hill jingle.
Feel free to create me one, mate. I'll stick it in.
Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should.
Please do.
So the reason I bring that up is that not because of the drinks or the content of that as such, but you had a little weird EVP, didn't you, that occurred?
I did, yeah, in one of the videos that I didn't even notice, and I sent it to you, and I was like, what the hell is that noise? And then you were like, where? I can't hear anything. And then I had to point it out meticulously. It's like, right, when my eyes are at 10 to 3, yeah, I'm a bit cockeyed, ignore that. When I lift the glass, just before I put it down in that split millisecond, there's a really weird noise.
So what I was thinking was, for anyone that hasn't heard that, how about we just input that little clip here?
I don't know if I have that clip anymore. I delete all my work because I hate myself.
Oh, that's all right. I've got it.
Fantastic, let's do it then.
Hey!
Good old Jordan. And then I remember. Oh. 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 Oh.
So yeah, I don't know what that sound is.
No, God knows.
Very strange.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I was the only one in the house at the time. People might be like, "Oh, your wife was probably just in the living room." I mean, they might probably not say that because they don't know the layout of my house. So the living room could be 8 stories up. But
it's only 7.
yeah, so I've got to portray the life you want to lead, okay? Only one in the house. I think it was about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. But saying that as well, just if anyone wants to give me any drinks that they think might mix with apple juice, please let me know, because I'd love to try it.
Absolutely. I can't remember what was the drink that you showed me the other day that looked horrendous.
Oh, it could be any of them. Give me a bit more context.
I can't remember.
Was it one I videoed and uploaded?
No. It was one that you sent me a screenshot of. Oh, that's annoying. No, I can't find... Oh, no, I do find it.
I do find it.
Oh, God.
What is it? Send me. I have no clue of what you're talking about.
Right, okay, here we go. I'm going to send it back to you. I'll let you introduce it.
Oh, Lord. Oh, right. I thought you meant it was one that I had made. Okay, so this was sent to me by one of my friends who knows that I'm getting into cocktails and sort of mixing them up. And he said, hey, you should try this shot. And it is called... in a hot tub, which is 2 parts vodka, 1 part white rum, and 3 to 5 drops of Baileys. So it does look absolutely grim. It looks exactly how you're probably imagining it. And to tell you what, I'll stick this on Instagram if I can.
Lovely.
I mean, it's not my picture, but we'll see if it gets taken down or not. But I will put it on Instagram.
Just like put my face in front of it or something.
Okay, yeah, good idea. I mean, the shot itself doesn't look too bad.
I mean...
taste-wise, it looks disgusting, but to drink, I'm sure it's probably lovely.
Yes. In other words, the shot itself does look bad, but I bet it tastes really nice.
Yeah, precisely.
A bit like the real thing.
So we'll give that a go on Wednesday, shall we?
Yes. Shall we compare?
Yeah. I don't know if we should say or not, because this will obviously be out after the thing that we're going to be doing on Wednesday, but that won't be out already. So do you want to drop a little tease, Jordan?
We can do.
All right, mate. I tell you what, I'll just keep talking, and you just tell me when to stop. You tell me when it's enough, all right?
All right, okay.
Jordan and I...
Stop.
Okay, so look forward to that, guys.
No, go on.
Right, so Jordan and I have got an idea for a little side project that we want to do.
Stop. No, go on.
Okay,
go
right.
On.
That we are... I've lost my place now.
Sorry.
A little side project that we're going to be putting together, which is more of a video format that we're going to be putting out on YouTube, which would be a way for us to just sort of get together ourselves, have a chat, have a drink, and do some ridiculous stuff, essentially. Just have a little bit of a laugh, play some games and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. A bit less pre-prepared, I guess, maybe, and just a bit more off the cuff, and just a way to have some drinks.
Yeah, in other words, more heavily edited to cut out all the rubbish.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 minutes long.
It definitely will be. Yeah, it'll be a YouTube short, but we're going to be recording that on Wednesday. It's not going to be a regular thing, as we really can't get together in person that much, but it's going to be as and when we can. So
absolutely, yeah.
Look out for that on the YouTube.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, maybe you'll never see it.
Possibly, probably. Forget I said anything.
Yeah, that's it. Shall we move on?
Anyway, Jordan, blasting forward, what have you got coming up for us today?
Well, Ian, today I have a collection of the internet's weirdest and wackiest Yelp reviews.
Nice.
I mean, what I'm saying there doesn't do it justice. There's some weird shit out there, shall I say?
Okay.
And with that, what on earth have you got for us today?
Well, Jordan, today I have you the tale which has now become known as the Wallerton Gnome Encounter.
Ooh, never heard of that, which is not like me.
Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah, go on then.
Well, let's do it! So this story starts with a group of 6 children. 6 friends named Angie, Andrew, Rosie, Julie, Craig and Marcus, all ranging from ages 8 to 10 years old. It was 1979, and these 6 children met up one night around 8 p.m, eager for a bit of adventure. They left their houses, wandered the streets for a bit, and ended up around about a mile from their homes at a school. So they decided to do a little bit of trespassing and wandered the grounds for a bit. They then moved on and found themselves at Wallerton Park, a park that is located in Nottingham, here in England. And here, they did a little bit more trespassing by entering the park that is generally closed to the public at night.
Interesting, okay, just a thought there. So my wife is from Nottingham.
Oh, no way! Maybe she's one of them.
Possibly. Let me just ask her. She's here, I believe.
What's your name, love? You ever seen a gnome?
A few moments later.
Hurry up, I'm doing my mascara.
Sorry to stop you while you're doing your mascara. So, Wallerton Park, you say?
Wallerton Park.
Say that again?
Wallerton Park.
And one more.
Wallerton Park, Div.
Wallerton Park, Div. So are you familiar that it's paranormal?
Well, I heard that it was spooky growing up, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you know what it was spooky for? Because I don't yet.
No, people just used to say it's spooky, like haunted.
Oh.
Okay, well, haunted. Does that coincide with your story, Ian?
It does not at all.
And Newstead Abbey.
Is that also Nottingham?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Ask her about the gnomes. Does she know about the gnomes, Jordan?
Do you know about the gnomes?
At Wallerton Park?
Yeah.
No.
That's a no, Ian.
All right, then. Well, just to get her to listen to this episode, maybe she can get educated about her birth town. God.
Ian says maybe you should listen to it and then get educated about your birth town. God.
Shut up, Ian.
You watch yourself.
Thanks for your input, wife. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
Thank you for your input there, Jordan's wife. So, these children made their way through one of the northern entrances. The park was definitely officially closed at that time, but the sense of adventure was calling them, and the taste of freedom on their tongues made them push their way forward, eagerly exploring the silent grounds. And I understand that feeling. You know, when you're a kid and you're out, you get that first taste of freedom. You're kind of out and about and everything's new and you're like, wow, I'm here, I'm unchaperoned, I can do what I want. You know, you end up doing something like, I don't know, throwing rocks into a pond or something. You're like, this is great.
Freedom.
Bit of freedom. Delicious.
And then you grow up and realise, I can't be arsed.
Yeah, I could just go to the park right now and throw stones into the pond. Or I could just sit on TikTok. Crack a beer.
Which reminds me of the 80s radio. Crack one out.
By the way, which is available on Spotify and Apple Music and Deezer. If you want to go listen to that, I probably should link that somewhere because we've done it. So
that is very true. So it's a little compilation of all the Two Guys What's Up music bits that we've ever had.
Yeah. So if you love the music from the podcast, hits like Vunditwa and what's another one, Jordan? The Slurpee song.
Oh yes, Slurpee song. So we have starting off with Broken Bog Brush. Then Slurpee J.
Slurpee J.
Then we've got, of course, Dirty Little Toilet. We've got Duck Out of Luck.
Oh, of course, the duck song.
Vunditwa, and we also have Master Ian signing out.
Yeah, all of your favourite Two Guys What's Up hits in one place.
And I should probably also confirm that the brand of that is called Two Guys Jukebox.
Right, not to be confused with Two Guys What's Up.
That's the one.
Putting two things of the same name on one audio streaming platform, probably not a good idea.
Probably not, but they are very different.
They are indeed. Go check it out.
Okay, I will.
Not you. You stay here. Listen.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, these children wandered across the field, through the park, where they came to a fenced-off woodland area, which was known locally as the Swamps.
Sounds...
Get your wife back. Does she know about the Swamps?
I'm not asking her again. She's doing a mascara. I'm going to get hit.
She'll kill me. Fair enough. So this isn't really a place you'd want to visit. But again, the sense of exploration is strong in these situations, and they pushed on. This boggy area was off limits anyway, to everyone, as I'm sure it's quite dangerous, but 4 of the little scamps decided to go through a hole they found in the fence into the alluring marshy woodland. So in they went into the swamps, and this is where the encounter began.
Spooky.
First, the children saw movement in the treetops. Then, it really ramped up as gnome cars appeared and began to drive around.
What the hell are gnome cars?
I'll get there, don't you worry. The children described these gnomes as small, human-like beings dressed in old-fashioned clothing. All the children, when interviewed, were consistent with their accounts, all describing the gnomes as being about 2.5 foot tall with pointed hats. They claimed they had beards, shoes with buckles on, and they also claimed that yes, the gnomes were driving small bubble cars. They appeared to be friendly, often smiling and laughing, but would disappear if approached too closely. Now, Jordan, you're probably stuck on the one point that I was too, that you made so audibly obvious. Gnomes in cars?
Yeah, and now bubble cars.
Bubble cars?
Is this any relation to bubble tea?
Absolutely not. I don't think they were the first proprietors of bubble tea.
Were they drinking bubble tea in their bubble cars?
It wasn't reported.
So, I mean, they could have been.
Yeah, they could have been in the bubble cars, eating an aero, drinking bubble tea, I don't know, washing their hair.
Doing the dishes.
Doing the dishes. Bubbles everywhere. Well, this is what the children described. They said these cars were small and bubble-like in shape and were vibrant and colourful. In these cars, the gnomes moved around erratically, chasing the children through the park, but not on wheels. No. They apparently hovered slightly above the ground and were capable of moving swiftly despite their small size. The kid says these cars were operated by a button that was pressed whenever they wanted to move, and if they wanted to turn, they had to lean quite far in the direction they wanted.
Oh, wow, okay. So what if one of them fell asleep and, lopped to one side? They'd just be going in circles.
I guess, that's a fear that probably is abundant in any form of travel, whether it be gnome bubble car or helicopter. What if the person driving falls asleep? Probably not a good idea for any situation.
No, but I guess that's where Tesla comes in, isn't it? Always thinking ahead.
And I have just one question for you.
Go on.
Are helicopters even real?
Not getting into this.
No, you tell me right now. I want to know. Are helicopters real? I mean, planes? Absolutely not, obviously. But helicopters?
Well,
birds of the sky?
Well, you say that. I mean, I'm not going to get her, but my wife
is a helicopter.
She isn't. However, she has been in a helicopter and went under the Golden Gate Bridge.
You said you've been in planes, mate, and we all know they're not real, so how are we to trust anybody saying anything about, oh, I went in a helicopter? No, you didn't. You might not have. I don't know. I haven't researched it well enough. Don't laugh. Maybe I will.
I probably wouldn't bother.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Please don't.
Stay tuned, folks. Coming next week, helicopters aren't real.
Oh, no.
Anyway, right. So these encounters were obviously met with skepticism, but the children maintained their stories and described the encounters with a level of detail that suggested an honest, vivid, and shared experience. So back to the events. 2 of the boys fell in the marsh, and the gnomes proceeded to either drop on their backs or drive into them in the mud, which is just not cool. The 4 children quickly retreated, making their way towards the field, meeting back up with the younger ones, 2 of them obviously covered in mud. And despite the older kids' descriptions of what they had seen, the younger children were skeptical. However, it became pretty damn obvious that they weren't lying when the gnome cars emerged from the swamp and started driving after the kids, prompting them all to run to the street, making it safely out where luckily the gnomes did not give chase.
Okay, so the gnomes were quite friendly.
Playful, driving around. I think, it says that, they were jumping on the backs and driving into them, which isn't cool. That's not really a nice thing to do, but I think, given the way they were portrayed, it was more of a playful sense.
Right, okay, so they weren't really a threat.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know what would have happened if they'd have stayed in there. Maybe they would have been, spirited away kind of thing, taken to the land of the Fae.
What if the gnomes would have started ramming into them all?
Well, that's what they did when they fell in the mud. They jumped on their backs and were driving into them.
But proper going over them and reversing over their heads and everything.
Oh, really trying to finish the job.
Yeah.
It's
like budget hitman from Wish.
I guess, that wouldn't have been cool either, and the kids just would have run away as they did.
Okay, so it might have happened then.
Possibly. Had they stayed any longer, who knows?
There's no accounts that say it didn't.
Precisely, but I'm sure there would have been as they were interviewed. I think you're just making stuff up now, Jordan.
Sorry.
So like I said, the children were interviewed about what they saw and provided remarkably detailed descriptions of the gnomes, but what I didn't mention before was the fact that according to the children, there were 30 of these cars, with 2 gnomes per car, making a grand total of 60 gnomes.
Bloody hell, that's a lot.
It's a fair amount of old gnomes.
Where do you reckon they get the MOTs done?
Probably local garage. We ask your wife again, she'll probably know.
Probably will.
Any garages local in Nottingham where you think a gnome might go? There is one garage called Gnome T. That's generally where they all go.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
I really love how we've both just got impressions of each other's wives just down to a T.
I almost thought she was here.
It's like covering your head like, oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Mascara looks lovely. Apologies.
So one of these children said when interviewed, "We heard this little tinkly bell. We started running and all these little men came out the bushes. There were about 60 of them in 30 cars like bubble cars. They were half my size, but they looked old. They had greenish faces with crinkles in them and long white beards with a red bit on the end. They were laughing in a funny way and driving over swamps near the lake. We were frightened and ran to the gate. I don't think they liked the lights outside because they didn't follow us into the street."
Aw, that was a great rendition.
Thank you very much. Been practicing that all night.
Have you?
I only finished writing this story literally about 5 minutes before we started recording, purely because I was up all night practicing that impression.
Well, I think it was worth it, Ian. That was lovely.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm knackered now, but I'm doing all right. To hear you say that it was good, Jordan, just makes all the lost hours worthwhile.
I don't think I used those words, but you're doing all right.
No, I think you said something along the lines of, "Mate, that was stunning."
I don't think so.
I think you should be on Broadway with a voice like that, Ian. You could bring joy to the masses with your fantastic rendition of One Child in Nottingham's voice. Yeah, I think that was pretty verbatim, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, moving on then. Nice one.
I think you just slightly misremembered it.
No.
Or let it slide.
That's fair enough.
And I guess you've never been to Nottingham because they definitely don't sound like that.
Do they not? What do they sound like? Go on, give us your impression.
I couldn't tell you.
Go on.
Whatever,
If you think you're so smart, Jordan, go on, guess an impression. 8-year-old Nottingham.
whatever I do.
Nottinghamese child. Go.
Whatever I do.
No.
Will be closer.
Is that your impression? Terrible. Shocking, Jordan.
It's almost like Oliver Twist from you.
Cut this out, right? Cut out my impression, send it to your wife and be like, "Oh, I recognise this person from Nottingham." And she'll be like, "Oh, yeah, that's little Terry from down the road. He was an all right kid."
I used to see gnomes all the time, weirdo.
he used to come into school just blah, 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 gnome this, cars that. Who wants an aero? I'll wash your hair. Get out of here, you bubbly bastard.
Love it.
So, speaking of the lights that the gnomes were so scared to drive into, the kids, when asked about the obvious problem of it being dark in the swamp with no street lights to speak of, and it being so late at night, the children said that while the cars the gnomes drove didn't have headlights, they apparently glowed in the dark, making them easily visible, and that they also saw lights in the trees. So, that is a little bit of a point that kind of made me go, hang on a minute, that doesn't sound very Fae-like. That sounds like f***ing aliens to me.
So what, do you think that these gnomes are aliens?
I'm just putting all these thoughts into my theory that correlates everything into the one. I'm just thinking outside the box. I'm not just going to go, oh, they saw gnomes, the end. You know, when people start saying about lights in the trees, I start thinking UFOs, mate.
Okay.
You want to go and ask your wife if she's ever seen a UFO?
I'm not asking her. I have asked her that before, and the answer has been no.
I did ask her once, and she said, shut up.
Or maybe the answer was gnome.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Most probably. So these descriptions that the kids gave aren't the only ones to come out of the area, as Wallerton Park does apparently have a reputation for fairy encounters, with several similar sightings through the years, and one of these very children also claimed to have seen gnomes in that park just a few months prior in the summer holidays, and one of the children involved in the encounter's older siblings also reported seeing the gnomes in the cars the very next day after the sighting.
Okay, weird.
So that is the end of my telling of the Wallerton gnomes, however you say it. I'm not from Nottingham, I couldn't tell you.
Woolerton.
No, I'll stick with Wallerton.
Yeah, I mean, that's as close as your impression.
You leave my impression out of this. It was top notch.
Sorry,
top tier.
sorry.
Brilliant, fantastical. Okay.
No, very interesting though. I've never heard of that story at all. In fact, anything sort of fae and you know, fairies, gnomes and so on, just things that I've never really looked into.
To be honest, me neither, but I'm finding it increasingly more interesting to look into.
Yeah, I think there's probably a bit more to it than I first thought, because you literally just think fairy tales, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about this with James on the interview last night. It's like, I always just kind of thought fairies, you know, little things that live in your garden, not really that interesting.
Yeah.
But when you look at the deeper roots of it all, it is a lot more paranormally entrenched, and it is a bit more freaky.
Yeah, and not quite as what you envision it to be when you think of those things.
Exactly.
Which is odd.
It's very intriguing, to say the least.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much for bringing that story, because something I've never heard of.
Another fantastical story that Jordan's never heard of. I mean, everyone else has probably heard it, sick to the back teeth of hearing about it, but
Possibly.
so long as you got a little bit of joy out of it, Jordan, I'm happy.
Oh, that's very good. I appreciate that.
Your happiness is my top priority. It takes over my life. I haven't seen my wife in days because I keep coming to your door just to touch the handle that you have once touched. To, you know, like, oh, Jordan has touched this handle. You've got all the recordings, haven't you, from your Ring doorbell of me?
I do. Like last night, you tapped the doorbell and it recorded you going, I've got a snake in my ass.
It wasn't quite said like that. That just sounds creepy. It was said in the style of Woody from Toy Story. I wasn't just like, there's a snake in my ass.
And then you realise that the next door neighbour just sees you.
I realised the next door neighbour was like, that's where my snake's gone.
It was an anaconda, but Christ.
It was. I got the whole thing in there. I'm quite proud of that. Anyway, Jordan.
Lovely.
Some Yelp reviews, was it?
It is indeed the weirdest Yelp reviews.
Yelp me.
Okay, if you want.
I love a good yelping.
It's not a Kelpie, it's a Yelpie now.
Ah, fair enough. Well, it's evolved. Delicious.
Yeah, it's like a Pokemon in its first evolution.
Couldn't tell you. Know nothing of Pokemon. I'm so out of touch.
Oh, you're missing out.
Am I? Am I really?
Yeah, you should really get it for your Nintendo Switch.
I don't have a Nintendo Switch.
And then you should really get a Nintendo Switch to play the Nintendo Pokemon games.
I would love a Nintendo Switch, but I can't afford a Nintendo Switch because I'm poor.
I mean, I don't know, if you forego like 2 nights worth of drinks, you'll be able to afford it.
You think I'm going to save £300 from not drinking for 2 nights, and you think, what, I'm going to not drink for 2 nights in a row? Are you stupid?
I think so.
Mate, pull the cork out your bloody ears. Listen to me. You know what I'm like.
Yeah, no, but in the quantities that you have drank before, it's probably about right.
Okay, well, I can't go back in time and collect it all and be like, no, Ian, I'm saving up for a Switch. Because you know fine well, the past me would kill me and be like, f*** your Switch, pal. I want these ciders right now.
Yeah, that is true. But a Switch will last forever.
Will it?
I mean, probably not.
Well, you're lying to me then. I caught you.
But certainly longer than the booze.
While I'm on to you, Jordan, while you're lying to me, a helicopter's real.
Yes.
Lies.
Anyway, Ian.
Yes.
We're not here to talk about helicopters or booze or even Nintendo Switches. We are here for the weirdest Yelp reviews.
Nice. Can't wait.
Now, it is no secret that the majority of reviews online, you'll normally find are pretty negative ones. You know, I think by nature, someone's just more likely to write a review to show bad press, I guess, about maybe a poor experience.
Yeah. People will only ever really write a bad experience. No one's ever going to... Well, I mean, they do, but it's very rare that people go on and be like, I had a lovely experience, everything went fine.
Exactly, yeah. People tend not to go out of the way, do they, to write nice things.
Which I guess is a perfect way of determining whether a company is good, because if you look at the distance in time between poor review, then you can only envision that the deliveries and things within those times were good.
Or they just employ a lot of staff to remove them.
Or just don't bother looking at reviews.
Or that as well.
Or just don't order things.
In which case that renders this completely useless.
There's many different things we could do. But carry on. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Carry on.
But alas, some of these reviews are just absurd that they're laughable.
Okay.
So allow me to bring you a little collection of the strangest Yelp reviews. So kicking things off, we have a 2-star review that reads, I'm just going to read this exactly as it's written, "My friend's leg is hurting now. Pinch pinched nerve because of your toilet seat caused damage to her leg nerve, causing numb. You need to get a flatter toilet seat, otherwise never returning back to your restaurant ever again if you change the seat. Toilet needs to be lower, that's why the toilet seat caused problem. It's hard to go to the bathroom on hard seat. It's like sitting a tree branch log. Pain and burning in legs because of toilet seat. Please get U-shaped flat toilet seat. The toilet seat is round like pipe. It hurts the nerve in legs.
What?
So I don't know if you caught that. I think he's not very happy about the toilet or something.
I had logs, nerves,
Legs.
pinchy circular toilet seats. I have no idea where to start with that one, mate.
So I'm not sure how useful that is, but I mean, you know.
I'm really genuinely just lost for words.
Oh, I'm glad it's finally happened.
I know. Tell me about it. I finally got peace.
Another one. A 5-star review, however.
Oh.
And it says, they regularly have new specials which I am forced to try, pushing me further away from my goal of being a swimsuit model. Woe is me. Their delicious food is making my butt spread like rumours. It's like Shakespeare's making a return.
He's back. He's back and he's hungry.
Just like those cheeks.
That sounds like it's a good review disguised as a jokingly bad one.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they gave it 5 stars, so I mean, they can't have had a bad experience about that.
Oh, no.
Unless they were going on holiday and they weren't particularly happy with the swimsuit.
In which case, we should check the swimsuit reviews. Have you got that?
I'm afraid not, Ian.
Oh, damn it, Jordan. What have I told you about research?
Sorry. I do, however, have another one for you that is 4 stars.
Oh.
And it reads, a pretty funky experience. My uncle got my auntie pregnant there.
Okay, that caught me off guard.
Me too. I don't even know what it's in reference to, is the thing. I've just seen the review.
I kind of zoned out for a second. You know, like when people are telling a story and you can probably, miss off the first few seconds, like, oh, I went out the other day and then, you come back in and you hear the meat of it.
Yeah.
It was unintentional. I got distracted by some sparkly lights in a picture on my wall.
Very nice.
But I was expecting to come in and hear the rest of the story. And all I heard was, my auntie got my uncle pregnant there.
No, it was actually my uncle got my auntie pregnant there.
Sorry, of course, yeah, my mistake.
Told you, Ian, that's how it works.
I obviously still hadn't zoned in quite well. Still hadn't tuned in 100%.
And that was the meat of it already there, wasn't it?
And that was it, done. So what was the review left on what site? Was it like a restaurant or a bed shop?
To be truthful, I don't know. This was just a screenshot
Right.
That I found. So the context is unfortunately lost on me there, but I thought, how fucking strange.
I guess it could be all right, I mean, bit weird to put, but logical if it's like a hotel review, maybe?
Yeah, or it could be a lovely national park.
Yeah, but if it's something like a KFC, then maybe that's a little bit weird.
Maybe it was the same restaurant from the first one. They had to change the toilet seat. Whatever they got didn't work.
Yeah, the reason why they didn't like the toilet seat is because they were actually sat on 2 people mid-sex.
Pinched nerve. Leg bad.
Toilet seat's really bouncy.
Another one gives a 1-star review.
Oh, no.
However, they go on to say, if I could give this 0 stars, I would.
Whoa.
I came all the way from Brooklyn, New York, paid $65 for 2 tickets to watch a couple of penguins get showered by a faulty sprinkler. For reference, they're in a zoo.
Oh.
No sharks. 1 turtle that was questionable, considering I didn't even see it move once. I'd rather risk my life again in Camden, New Jersey than come here again. Chaotic, crammed, and not worth the ticket price.
I love the thought that they're just sat like in this zoo looking at, like when in zoos they have bins shaped like animals.
Oh, yeah.
And like all the sharks and the turtles are behind them and they're just sat looking at this bin shaped like a turtle. I don't even know if it's going to move. Is it real?
Yeah, they forgot and they didn't quite notice the perspex glass behind them.
Yeah. Had they just turned around, that 1 star would have been a 5-star.
Stupid idiots. Another one, 1 star, unfortunately, but we also have a reply to this one, which is, we've been getting the runaround for over 2 weeks, again and again, rudely giving us no information as to why they weren't able to give us our gun that we already paid for. Then today, my mother called and she got very rudely told that she was absolutely not going to get the gun and it couldn't possibly be for her. Why? Because she's old and a woman? So that's the question. The response from the owner, however, says, "Your mum isn't giving you the whole story. It appears she's buying guns for her son who, according to online court records, has a felony conviction that's super illegal for both of them. We weren't going to post anything publicly about this, but, well, here we are."
Yeah, sometimes if you're being called out and you're being forced into it, then sometimes you just have to give out that information.
Absolutely, yeah, because that seems like that would be pretty detrimental to their business.
Absolutely, yeah.
But actually, you've got a son who committed some sort of felony and probably shouldn't be in the possession of guns.
God, no.
And maybe as a mother, you should probably be aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe don't go blaming businesses for other people's problems, painting them in a bad light.
Exactly. So sometimes people are just wackers.
Yeah.
Another one-starer. And again, I feel like I've heard this before. If I could give this 0 stars, I would. Where is my chicken tenders? I've been going here for years and deserve a lot of respect. How dare you? The staff was very nice to me, showing me the true respect I deserve. I have been bullied my whole life, and it's nice to have people who actually care for me once in their life. My mother disowned me. My father is a traitor.
Lord.
The steak was decent, I guess. 10 out of 10, except for the chicken. R.I.P. chicken tender. You were a real friend and helped me through my lonely life. Never come in here again, with 5 exclamation marks from John.
That must be a joke.
Hey, I mean, I somehow don't believe that these things are jokes.
It seemed to be, just a bit of an unhinged ramble at the beginning, but then when it started referencing a chicken tender as like its friend that helped it through some tough times, that's when I kind of sort of cottoned on, like, this must be, a little bit of a pull the old leggy, a little bit of a joke.
Yeah, I mean, that was written by someone called Swaggy F.
Well, there you go, says it all.
Maybe they're just totally unhinged.
Definitely seems that way, at least for 70% of the reply.
This is probably true. Another one says, again, unfortunately, a 1-starer.
Oh, no.
My experience at this restaurant lasted for about 2 seconds. I went in, asked them if they have meatballs, and the waiter smirked at me, yelled, "You can meet these balls," and proceeded to flip in the table in front of him.
Flipped the table?
Yeah, God knows.
That's commitment.
It is. 1 star because I never got to meet those balls. This place doesn't deliver on what they offer.
It's like, you imagine, like, you completely off the top of your head, you don't even plan this. You're not like going into work thinking, I'm going to do this today. If somebody asks me for meatballs, I'm going to go through with this plan. And then someone just walks in, you're washing the cutlery or something, shining it away, making a table, and then someone's like, got any meatballs? And they're just out of nowhere, meet these balls, flips a table, a full table in the middle of a restaurant. That's insane. And true commitment.
Yeah, pretty much. Worse, though, isn't it, if that was like a mystery shopper, mystery diner.
Yeah.
Come to actually review the place.
He just walks in really horny. It's like, I could really go for some balls right now. And then subsequently gave them a 1-star review because they wanted the balls. No balls were presented.
They did, unfortunately, lose that Michelin star that night.
They did. So anyone who owns a restaurant, bit of advice for you, get your balls out.
Words to live by, Ian. New Linktree link quote.
To a picture of my balls.
Oh, God. Behind the jungle.
Freshly trimmed, mate.
All right, nice. Another one. I'm giving a 1 star because of the cheap management and customer service. I heard the food was very good, so I went to try. Me and the BF got the calamari, spaghetti, and gnocchi. All were very delicious. I was so impressed that when the manager came to ask us how everything tasted, I told her it was some of the best Italian food I've ever had. And I told her I'm going to post about it on Instagram, where I have over 11,000 followers.
Oh, no.
And a lot of them are in the area.
Not one of them.
Yeah, she seemed very happy about it. I was wrong. I thought she would be grateful for the free advertising, but when the check came, there was literally no discount at all. I thought at least one of the entrees would be taken off, but they didn't take off the calamari or even the drinks. I won't be going back here because of this.
Ridiculous.
Which is a shame because the food was very good. The manager needs to understand how to treat customers. Entitled or what?
Yeah, you need to understand how the exchange of goods works. You pay for it, they give you it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. You can't buy stuff with online promotion. I mean, fair enough if someone wants to cross-promote and do things for free for each other. But if a chef wants to spend money on things and make them, Jordan, help me here, I'm rambling, then
You're doing fine.
I've lost my place. Then you need to pay for the stuff that you order. You can't just go into a restaurant and do the thing.
You can't expect things just because you've got a few followers on Instagram.
Thank you, Jordan. Finally, for letting me flounder there and jumping in and saving me.
You're fine, you're all right. Maybe they were a mystery shopper as well. Maybe they all are.
Maybe. They're the only people that ever leave reviews because people generally just want to order stuff and get it delivered. They don't really care for going online and moaning about it.
I mean, I maybe would.
I was going to say your Twitter page says completely different.
Not so much for a restaurant, but I certainly have for other businesses before that have failed to meet the minimum requirement, shall we say.
Yeah, you tell them, Jordan.
F***ing do. Another one says, one of my biggest fears as a public restroom user is somebody walking in on me. The bathrooms at the Third Degree Glass Factory escalate that fear 10 times. The stalls are sliding doors with no locks.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the entire time I was using the restroom, I was paranoid that someone was going to swing that stall shutter right open and expose me at my most vulnerable state. Along with the stall doors not having locks, the toilet paper was only 2-ply and nearly thin tissue paper.
Disgusting.
It is. It took me about 24 squares to get the job done. Normally, I would only give 3 stars for an experience like this, but however the craftsmanship of the bathroom was so amazing, I gave the overall bathroom experience 4 out of 5 stars.
That's insane. I think no matter how good a bathroom looks, if the doors don't lock, that's a 1 star, in my opinion.
Yeah, that seems a pretty big deal.
That seems to trump it all, yeah.
And the other thing as well, when I was in New York, went to a bathroom somewhere, the toilet, and the doors had so much of a gap.
You spoke about this.
Yeah, there was must have been at least a foot gap off the floor and from the top. They were like miniature doors and it felt really weird.
Yeah, that is very strange. Well, like you say, we spoke about that. I think it was a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
We spoke about that. So not to sort of go into it too deep again, but yeah, that is very, very strange. I don't know why people just want to encourage voyeurism.
Why not, Ian?
I ain't saying nothing, pal.
That's all right then. Another one, 1-star review. I went to this restaurant and liked the food, but then the server leaned over to me and whispered, "Would you like a side of death with that?"
What?
Yeah. Then he went and took my fettuccine and formed a pentagram on my table. No one acknowledged me after that. Don't go here, or do, whatever.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, that's weird. Last couple here. Another 1-starer with another response. The review says, very unprofessional. Do yourself a favour and go elsewhere. Very short and simple.
Was that aimed at the restaurant themselves, telling them to move towns, or was that aimed at the audience, don't eat here?
Maybe both, because both would be saved.
That's true. Yeah, cover all grounds.
And the response from the owner says, Rob, you've never been here. I do, however, remember you from my previous clinic, where you harassed me for asking you to wear a mask when the rules of the business at the time were as of last October, including screaming cuss words in my face in the lobby. I am absolutely thrilled that you have not come to my new clinic, as you are absolutely not welcome here. We have incredible clients who have mutual respect for not only me as their doctor, but my staff as well. Bad behaviour like yours is not tolerated, nor should it be. Good riddance. The trash took itself out.
Ooh, mic drop.
Exactly. I love that one. Dr. Drop and his first name's Mike. Penultimate one, 3 stars. I ate here about 3 hours ago. Now I have diarrhea.
Oh no.
As far as a Chinese buffet goes, this one's pretty good.
Bit mean to lump them all into one like that.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting, but I did think maybe he was after some sort of digestive cleanse or something.
Possibly, yeah, that's what he was hoping for.
Definitely a glass half full kind of person.
Glass full of what, though, is the question.
Of a fucking toilet bowl full of sounds of it.
Oh, God. You imagine it just touching the cheeks.
Oh, it's flush.
It won't flush, it's clogged.
Oh, that'd be awful.
That would be grim.
He just picks out a bit of chicken from his teeth.
Oh, I thought you were going to say out the toilet. Oh, seconds.
Oh, lovely.
Still not feeling quite empty.
Oh, that makes me feel ill. And final one, my favourite of the lot, another 3-starer that says quite simply, I must downgrade this 3 stars after the last bus I was on ran over 2 pedestrians and kept going.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad, that one.
I love how it's just like down to 3 though.
Yeah.
What does it morally require to get down to 1?
I don't know, 8 people and a granny.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
I love how like all the other reviews on here have gone into like such depth about what's wrong with it and how bad it is, but this one's like, just ran over 2 pedestrians, 3 stars.
Yeah, I f***ing loved it. So, there you have it, a list of some of the wackiest Yelp reviews from the internet.
Nice. Thank you very much for bringing that to our ears, Jordan. Now I know a few more lists of places where I dare not visit.
That's it. Well, I mean, slowly we'll end up kind of being, what's the word?
Homebound.
Wasn't that one, but I'll take it.
A loser.
That works too. There is a word and it annoys me, I can't think of it. But never mind.
Righto, so does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode, Mr. Jordan?
I think it does, Mr. Ian.
Very nice. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode of Two Guys What's Up. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to us so you don't miss another episode, and maybe even tell a friend. Take your friend into a restaurant, ask for the balls. Hopefully you'll receive the balls, if the balls is what you do intend. And on your way home, after you've had a good fill of your balls, listen to Two Guys What's Up.
Nice. It's usually an unfilling of the balls, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends, which end of the balls you're on, I guess.
Moving on. If you would like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, which you can click on and be jetted off to every single link you will ever need for all your Two Guys What's Up essentials. Want to get your own Two Guys What's Up t-shirt? Click the link.
Want to write a Yelp review for Two Guys What's Up? Click the link.
Want to find out how to really speak like the Nottinghams do? Click the link.
And don't forget we now have Patreon, where you can find all of your Two Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shout-outs, t-shirts. And if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and fantastical voices, then now you can get more, because we now release bonus episodes, which come out on the last Friday of every month. There is currently 12 sitting up there, just waiting for your ears to just go and have a little nuzzle around in. And all of that is available right now, starting with the bonus episodes for just £3 a month.
Bargain. So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/Two Guys What's Up to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your clicking pleasure.
But if you can't do that, but you'd still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best, easiest and free way to help us out, and we would be eternally grateful.
We would indeed.
But on that note, thanks for listening, y'all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye!
Hang on, let me just shut the window because someone's being very noisy. There we go. Dealt with them.
Nice.
Quick swift to the back of the head.
Person outside my house, 1 star, too noisy.
I'd give 0 if I could.